all of you all that are going to go home and write a biography on how wrong this is, you guys can kick rocks. What's up, fam? Candace Parker here. I'm going to do a tier ranking of WNBA players. I'm going to try. Then you got Angel Reese. I put her right at that C level.
Candace Parker ranked Angel Reese as a C-tier player, sparking outrage from Reese's fans. Despite the backlash, Parker stood by her decision, backing it with stats that challenge Reese's impact. While Reese racks up double-doubles, her team keeps losing. Parker pointed out that these stats don't translate to wins, calling them empty numbers and exposing what she claims is a major overhype.
How many times have I said Angel Reese is not an impact player? I mean, she definitely has an impact on losing, but Angel Reese has absolutely no effect on winning. If you don't believe me, go ask Teresa Weatherspoon, or ask her current head coach Tyler Marsh, who will soon be joining Teresa in the food stamp line, hoping to get enough Ethiopian breadcrumbs to make it through the winter. Or ask Candace Parker.
Candace Parker, a 2-time MVP and 7-time All-Star, ranked Angel Reese in the C tier, alongside injured rookie Cameron Brink. The internet exploded as fans expected Reese to be treated like a rising star, not a work in progress.
I think in terms of being above, you have to be able to have the ability to carry a team, be a 1 or 2 option. I think Angel Reese is fantastic at her role, which is offensive rebounding. She showed and demonstrated so much growth in that first year. I think that this is my tier.
Parker explained Reese's C tier ranking bluntly. She's a role player, not a team leader. While praising her rebounding, Parker said Reese isn't a top scoring option. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson, Nafisa Collier, and Brianna Stewart made S tier, with Caitlin Clark in A, leaving Reese among players still proving themselves.
A'ja Wilson, reigning MVP, couple Defensive Player of the Years, 2 championships. If there was something higher than S, I would definitely put her up there. But Nafisa Collier, she's up there with top tier with A'ja. Just her ability to play on both sides of the ball, pump fake, she's going to make you choose wrong. I know you guys are going to say I'm biased because I'm putting all 4s at the S, but the 4s run the league. Don't ever forget that. Brianna Stewart, the versatility, reigning champion from last year. She's got 3 of them things. I don't think there's any debate with that.
Reese's fans erupted online, accusing Parker of being a hater and demanding answers. Shocked by Reese's low ranking, they saw it as pure disrespect. But Parker stayed calm, appearing on the Good Follow podcast to clarify. She said, "There's no hate on Angel Reese. I love her," stressing that her critique was strictly about basketball skills and leadership, not personal.
This is where it gets tricky. Caitlin Clark is at an A level. I think in time she's going to raise up to that S, but in order to put her at that level, you got to have a couple more years. So I'll put Kelsey Plum at the A level. 2-time champ, now took on the challenge to be #1 option in LA. I would say KP is definitely in that tier. I would love to put Sabrina Ionescu in that A range. She got that elusive championship. She's one of the best shooters in the WNBA, if not the best shooter in the WNBA.
Parker's critique carries weight because of her unmatched credentials. She's not just another analyst. She's a proven champion with elite basketball IQ. Her rankings showed she values players who elevate teams, not just rack up stats. Caitlin Clark's tier spot reflected that, as her play has transformed the Fever's offense and shown real leadership.
Uh-oh, Candace Parker. You've upset the Reese's Pieces, and they're not happy about it. They're gonna be coming after you any second. Oh, they're already coming after you? Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Candace Parker asked to put certain players in a tier list. You have the S tier, you have the A tier, you have the B tier, and you have the C tier. And where Candace Parker put Angel Reese on this list and her explanation about it, it has upset a large number of the Reese's Pieces delegation.
Analysts quickly backed Parker's take, pointing out what many fans overlooked. Stats don't always equal impact. The big question became, what does a legend like Parker see in Reese's game that others miss? Her ranking was rooted in fundamentals, not bias, drawing a clear line between role players and true franchise leaders.
Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the stud butts. Everybody watches the stud butts. Shout out to Courtney Williams and Tisha Heiderman, man. Listen, stud butts stood on business today. Nafisa Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago Sky.
The Minnesota Lynx game was a turning point. Angel Reese had 9 turnovers, exposing flaws insiders had warned about. It wasn't just a rough night. It revealed the weaknesses her double-double stats had been hiding.
This is from last night's game. Angel Reese was back to doing Angel Reese things. Blowing layups, getting her own rebounds. They've turned her into a point forward. She had 9 turnovers last night. I think her plus minus was minus 19. But all we keep hearing about, she now has 2 double-double streaks of more than 10 games or 10 games plus. She had one last year. Now she has one this year. She's the first WNBA player to ever do this.
Early on, the Sky were holding their own against Minnesota. But then, Reese's decisions unraveled. She forced risky passes instead of taking easier options. And the turnovers stacked up. Under light pressure, her basketball IQ seemed to collapse.
Angel Reese, part 53, let's get it! We love pray-ups. Bang! I heard she wanted to dye her hair, and the stylist said, what color you want? And she said, butter pecan! Bang! She gets blocked by defenders who don't even bother jumping. Me bound. One more time. Bang! She almost had a triple-double. One more turnover, and she would have had it. Bang! 9 turnovers is crazy, so is a no-look poop pass. Oh no! Bang!
What made it worse were the turnovers themselves, unforced and sloppy. Passes flew over teammates' heads, travels from bad footwork, and basic ball handling errors. The Lynx didn't need elite defense. Reese was giving the ball away.
She got the brakes beaten off of her. She had 9 turnovers and was just an awful. If you watch the game, she was awful.
Coaches began using the Lynx game as a blueprint, targeting Reese with pressure to force turnovers. It worked. Teams designed plays to exploit her weakness. The 9 turnover game wasn't a fluke, but part of a season-long trend. Strong rebounding paired with costly mistakes. Reese's ball security issues were helping sink the Sky in winnable games.
Does anyone know how that party rock song goes? Every day I'm shuffling. Do, 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 do. Bang! I know it's construction season and all, but who called in the bulldozer? Bang! And it was this play right here when 2K realized, yup, that's our cover athlete. 2K? More like 75K. Pay her more. Bang! Watching her play got me fiending football. Said, oh no, it's picked off again. Bang! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Settle down. You're going too fast. You're going too fast. Hey, I got an order here. It says a hip check. Bang!
The real issue? Chicago's coaches ignored the warning signs, brushing off Reese's turnovers as growing pains while praising her double-doubles. But the losses piled up, and the 9 turnover game proved her stats weren't helping the team win. Grabbing rebounds means little if you constantly give the ball away. The Sky lost by 23, and it raised a tough question. Would fewer minutes for Reese actually help the team?
Angel Reese is the double-double queen. They got the brakes beat off of them last night by the Minnesota Lynx. Angel Reese's double-double, I think 11 points, 11 rebounds, was meaningless and insignificant.
The numbers don't lie. Chicago wins more when Reese plays under 30 minutes. This trend shatters the media narrative about her value. With less of her on the floor, the Sky move the ball better, teammates find rhythm, and the team plays like a unit instead of revolving around one player's rebound chase.
Through nearly 2 seasons in the WNBA, the only thing Angel Reese has proven is she can't win games. Angel Reese is not an impact player. She's not someone you can rely on to carry a team to a championship. The Chicago Bravado, they cannot rely on Angel Reese to secure off-season access to the Golden Toilet. Hell, she can't even get them to the playoffs. Angel Reese does not help your team win, and this is no longer just my opinion. Candace Parker feels the same way.
The data flat out contradicts the media's claims about Reese's importance. Despite the hype around her double-doubles, the Sky do better when she plays less. In games where her minutes were limited, the team rallied, ball movement improved, players stepped up, and Chicago looked sharper and more competitive against strong opponents.
And now we get word from the coach that Angel Reese is going to have a modified role.
Did you see the chaos happening with Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky? Coach Tyler Marsh just changed the game completely by shifting the focus to Camila Cardoso, pushing Angel off balance and all the way to the bench.
And new head coach Tyler Marsh is busy installing a different vision for Chicago's offense. The Sky plan to use second-year power forward Angel Reese much differently than how she was deployed in her rookie season.
And new head coach Tyler Marsh is already implementing a new direction for Chicago's offense. The Sky had intended to use second-year power forward Angel Reese in a way that's a major departure from her rookie season role. Just like that, the Sky's hierarchy took a major hit. So long, double-double streak. Reese supporters aren't just upset, they're in full-blown revolt on social media, claiming this is a scheme to erase Angel's historic rebounding rise before it even begins in the W. Is this the fall of Reese?
Angel Reese preseason part 2. Let's get it. What they say about layups, harder than nuclear physics. Bang! She's a point forward now, and nobody's more excited than opposing defenses. Time for the vintage underhand scoopity shot from 3 feet. Yep, there it is. Bang!
And here's where things heat up. Angel Reese hasn't been spotted at training camp since news of the change broke. The queen of stat padding is now being pushed to expand her game, hoisting mid-range jumpers despite a field goal rate of only 39.1%. Yep, that's the number. A pivot this drastic? It doesn't feel like growth. It feels like someone changed the script on her whole story. So, is this Chicago playing smart basketball or a quiet mission to fade Angel's brand?
The Chicago Sky's offense will no longer run through Kennedy Carter. Carter averaged 17.4 points per game in 2024, leading the Sky in scoring. Interesting. It should lead straight through, I believe she's 6'6"? Camila Cardoso down in the paint. That's who it should lead through. That's who it better lead through.
The news landed just days ahead of the Chicago Sky's showdown with none other than Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. And Coach Marsh? He didn't just adjust lineups, he tore up the entire plan. Angel Reese's role hasn't just changed, it's been completely overhauled. Fans are stunned as one of the WNBA's most talked about players is being shoved into a brand new mold before the season even tips off.
It sounds like they're going to pull her out further from the basket, and I wonder how her fans are going to feel about that. If she's further away from the basket, that doesn't mean there's going to be a lot of, or as many, I would believe, offensive rebound opportunities for one Angel Reese.
Let's take it back. Angel carved out her whole image by grabbing rebounds like it was a mission. From LSU to the W, her double-double streak became her signature. She turned those numbers into headlines and jersey sales. Remember her second pro game when she pulled down 19 boards against Indiana? That moment blew up online, locking in a rep as a rebounding force.
If she's not as close to the basket on offense, which she shouldn't, it should clear out the paint and underneath the basket for Camila to be able to rebound. And we know she can hit layups. We've seen them. We've seen them over and over. I've seen plenty of videos.
But right when she thought her path was set, The Sky asked her to switch it up. Literally, they want her drifting from the paint to take mid-range shots. That's like asking Shaq to camp out at the three-point line. The very area she dominated is now off limits, and Angel's left trying to adapt, if she even wants to. Then there's the mechanics. Her shot release? It's slow, awkward. This isn't seamless. It's a square peg clashing with a round hoop while the shot clock winds down.
Chicago Sky want her to take mid-range jumpers. Okay. However, Marsh wants her to add more versatility to her shot selection by hitting mid-range jumpers 10 to 15 feet from the basket. She's working on being able to shoot off dribble and when the play call is for a catch and shoot. Yeah, but what does that mean? Because she's... look, we've all seen videos of her practicing. She's got a very, very slow as SERP release out there. So that should be interesting against anybody that's got any kind of a wingspan.
Let's be real. Reese's shooting efficiency is, frankly, inefficient. Just 39.1% from the field. And that's mostly shots near the rim. That's not just subpar. It's a glaring red flag. Instead of refining what she does best, the coaching staff wants her to build a brand new skill set. Meanwhile, here's the kicker. As Reese is pushed out of the paint, Cardoso is being given full control of it.
And they want her to shoot more mid-range. This should be very, very interesting.
And now, they want her taking more mid-range shots. This is about to get very, very interesting. Yep, Camila Cardoso, the Brazilian phenom, has taken over Angel's old spot under the rim. The very role that launched Angel's brand and built her social clout now belongs to someone else. And the optics, not great. Camila's rise feels almost too well timed, like a polished PR move wrapped up with a marketing ribbon.
And I think Angel's really good. I think she's really good. And I just think the team would be better if, they anchored their defense around the elite defensive player and kind of ran their offense, maybe not through Camila because she's not going to pass it, but run their offense to the elite finisher.
Angel's no-show at training camp says a lot. Most pros view a new role as a chance to evolve, to grow their skill set. But Angel's response feels more like rejection. She's gone quiet, missing, brooding, maybe even plotting. Whatever it is, the message she's putting out doesn't scream teamwork or flexibility.
Per Julie Poe of the Chicago Sun-Times, Reese has yet to post up at training camp as she learns a new role for the offense. Oh, this should be very interesting. Quote, for Reese, that means adapting to a modified role that will tap into her full potential as a stretch four.
Let's be brutally real. This isn't Angel letting go of her strengths. It's her resisting growth. In today's league, having a dependable shot is the bare minimum, but she's holding firm. The Sky aren't targeting her. They're evolving with the game. A forward can't just crash the boards anymore. You've got to space the floor, generate offense, and keep the ball moving. Right now, Angel's game is stuck on loop. Rebound, put back, repeat. And when that formula's disrupted, she falters.
The McDonald's sponsoring the first ever fry cook in the WNBA. Bag work is off the dollar menu, man. What is this junk? Bag! Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And most importantly, Mother Teresa, Mother Nature, and Mother 2. I'm watching because of me too. Bag! Did you know a croissant's most important ingredient is butter? Yes, butter. Butter. Butter pecan. Bag!
The real conversation we need to be having isn't whether the coach made a bad call. That's the surface level debate, the kind that gets clicks and headlines. But dig deeper, and you'll see the real issue isn't about a single decision. It's about development. It's about potential. It's about whether Angel Reese was ever truly given the space, the guidance, and the tools to evolve into something greater, into the kind of player today's game demands. This isn't about disrespect. This isn't personal. This is about basketball at the highest level. and basketball doesn't wait. Her change in role isn't a punishment, it's a shift rooted in the direction the modern WNBA is heading. Today's game is faster, more fluid, and unforgiving. It's built on spacing, versatility, and shot making, especially from forwards. If you can't shoot, if you can't stretch the floor, if your skill set is too limited, then no matter how passionate you are, no matter how dominant you once were, the game will evolve, and it will leave you behind. So the real question isn't, was this fair to Angel Reese? The question is, was she ever set up to succeed in the first place? And going forward, can she adapt? Can she grow fast enough to reclaim her place in a league that's already moving forward without her? That's the conversation worth having.
Man, this just went down. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese going at it. More so Angel Reese going at Caitlin Clark.
Man, this just happened. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese clashed. Mostly Angel Reese targeting Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese believed she could intimidate Caitlin Clark with a confrontation after that third quarter foul. Instead, she unleashed a triple-double beast who went on to dismantle her entire team on national TV.
My goodness gracious. Destroyed the sky in front of a sold-out 17+ thousand. Fouled Angel Reese. Angel Reese loses her mind, tries to fight Caitlin Clark. It's glorious. The season is back. It is on. A triple-double in the first game back.
When the dust settled at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the scoreboard showed 93-58 in favor of the Fever. Reese faced a 35-point blowout, while Clark had just made WNBA history once more in the season opener. Talk about instant regret and a plan that spectacularly backfired. The moment that shifted everything began with what seemed like a routine basketball play in the third quarter. The Fever were already leading by double digits, and everything was falling into place for Indiana when Angel Reese grabbed an offensive rebound near the basket after a clear push on Natasha Howard to gain position.
If you guys didn't see, right before that play, Angel Reese had some contact with Natasha Howard. Caitlin Clark saw that contact. She turns to the refs and she's like gesturing to them. And this is all happening very, very quick, you guys. She turns to the refs, she's gesturing to them because she believed that Angel Reese fouled Natasha Howard. Now from that, Angel Reese gets the ball. Caitlin Clark realizes she is about to go up for what seems like a wide open layup. Caitlin Clark runs over and fouls her hard, and Angel Reese falls to the ground.
Caitlin Clark, spotting an easy scoring chance, made a split-second choice to stop Reese from adding 2 easy points to Chicago's total. Clark reached in and made contact with Reese's shoulders and upper body, knocking her to the floor. At first, the refs called it a common foul, something routine in any WNBA game. But then the officials huddled to review the play, and the energy in Gainbridge Fieldhouse instantly shifted. After a lengthy review, the referees upgraded the call to a flagrant foul. The crowd reacted immediately. Booing filled the arena as fans believed their star player was being unfairly targeted. Clark, meanwhile, showed impressive composure. When asked later, she simply said it was a good take. Foul with no malicious intent.
Now, basketball 101, if somebody has a wide open layup and you have a foul to give, it is in your best interest to foul that shooter so that they don't get an easy 2 points. And what Caitlin said during an interview with Holly Rowe, she essentially said it was either Angel gets a wide open layup or we send her to the free throw line. It was a basketball play. There was nothing malicious behind it. I just knew I had to foul her hard. And that is exactly what it looked like to me. She went for the ball, she went across her body. Now Angel got tied up in it and she did fall down.
Reese's reaction told a very different story. The instant the call was upgraded, she strode toward Clark with frustration clearly etched on her face. Her body language shouted confrontation, shoulders squared, jaw clenched, eyes locked on Clark. This wasn't just about a foul call. Reese was sending a clear message that she wouldn't be intimidated by the Indiana star.
Angel Reese gets up, Aaliyah Boston shoves her, gives her a little stiffy. Hey, don't come at Caitlyn. But look at her, Angel Reese upset. Oh my gosh. Hey man, this was hilarious. Look, Angel Reese was pissed. Look at her, she was still going out there a little bit. Look, took the jersey out. Well, what's going on? Look.
Crew Chief Roy Gabayan later defended the flagrant call in the pool report, saying it wasn't a legitimate basketball play and involved unnecessary contact. But what happened next revealed exactly what kind of team the Fever have become. Aaliyah Boston immediately stepped between Clark and Reese, physically placing herself as a shield to protect her teammate. Boston's intervention earned her a technical foul. Yet that moment made something clear. This Fever team wasn't just Clark's supporting cast. They were a united front, ready to stand together when challenged.
I thought Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were cool. But I don't know, man. The way Angel got up, she was like, Look at her. Ooh. I mean, she was getting after it, fam. Oh my goodness. Now, the funny thing was Caitlin Clark sniffing, walking away. Hold on, let me see if I can get a good angle. Yeah, look. Watch Caitlin Clark's face right here. Watch this.
Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky bench exploded at the confrontation, clearly hoping this moment would disrupt Clark's rhythm and shift momentum their way. Players jumped up, coaches clapped, and for a brief instant, their energy surged as they sensed a chance to claw back into the game. What unfolded during those tense seconds revealed everything about both players. Clark stayed composed, refusing to engage in any back and forth. Reese, meanwhile, seemed bent on making a physical and mental statement. One player was locked on the scoreboard, the other on asserting dominance in their personal duel. This attempt to unsettle Clark would turn out to be a disastrous miscalculation by Reese and the Sky. Instead of intimidating the superstar, Reese had unknowingly ignited a fuse that would blow up in her face over the next 15 minutes of play. The confrontation didn't rattle Clark, it unleashed her.
She came away with 20 points, 4 blocks, that's a career high for her, 2 steals, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. Like, who are you, Caitlin Clark?
If Angel Reese believed she could intimidate Caitlin Clark, what followed must have felt like a nightmare playing out in real time. The confrontation didn't shake Clark. It turned her into a basketball force the Chicago Sky couldn't counter. Rather than faltering under pressure, Clark raised her game to a whole new level. On the very next possession, after the flagrant foul, she calmly dribbled up the court, signaled for a screen, and sank a three-pointer that sent Gainbridge Fieldhouse into a frenzy. The message was unmistakable: I'm not backing down.
Hey, look. One thing about this Indiana Fever team, you better come correct, man. Because if you try to do anything to anybody, look over your shoulder, man. Look over your shoulder. Because somebody is coming with some get back. They are taking up for each other. Even Stephanie White got hot.
With the crowd now fully fired up and behind her, Clark led the Fever offense with surgical precision. She delivered no-look passes to cutters that seemed impossible. She attacked the lane, drawing defenders before kicking out to open teammates. When defenders backed off, she punished them with step-back threes that had fans leaping from their seats. Her stat line started filling up across the board. Clark wasn't just scoring. She grabbed rebounds over taller opponents, blocked shots at the rim, jumped passing lanes for steals, and set up teammates for easy baskets.
Caitlin Clark is back with revenge and not taking any mess. You understand me? Trip dub Caitlin Clark for the first game. Oh my gosh, a blowout win, ridiculous.
The roar inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse swelled with every electrifying moment from Clark. Every basket she sank, every steal she snatched, every relentless hustle play sent the crowd into a frenzy, an unstoppable wave of noise and passion. The energy pulsing through the arena built an overwhelming home court fortress that crushed the Sky spirit more and more with every ticking second.
Well, it looks like Angel Reese. Well, it looks like she's just been caught in what could certainly be taken as in a lie. All right, all these things that she says she has dealt with over the last year, all these encounters of racism.
Picture this. Angel Reese sits down for another grim post-game Q&A after getting thumped by the New York Liberty. Cameras flash, reporters hover, then bam. She drops a comment her PR team probably wanted to intercept mid-air, tearing right through the polished narrative we've been fed about Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever fandom.
Angel Reese, the most coddled, babied professional athlete in all of sports, continues to be the most babied and coddled professional athlete in all of sports, continues to have her peers say, "You go, girl. You be unapologetically yourself. Don't worry how rude, how arrogant, and how disrespectful you are. Don't worry about all the lies that you perpetrate. Don't worry about that."
The WNBA wrapped up its investigation and, surprise, found zero proof of any racist comments at the Fever game. Case closed, right? Not so fast. Because what Angel Reese just blurted out on live TV might be the actual plot twist here. The real mystery? What exactly did she spill when she thought the mic wasn't catching her tea?
Remember the guy that I guess, was out there waiting for him supposedly, and when the team was coming out, and of course we saw footage of that, and there was nothing malicious to it whatsoever that anybody could see. And then of course the Indiana Fever fans were yelling racist things or making racist noises out around the court. WNBA did an investigation, found nothing.
The WNBA spent weeks investigating claims of racist comments at the Fever versus Sky game, but their conclusion shocked no one, except maybe Angel Reese and her most loyal fans. When the league launched the investigation, they went full CSI, courtside. Fans near the alleged drama were interviewed, staff from both teams grilled, and arena workers questioned like it was a crime thriller. They even combed through security footage frame by frame, angle by angle.
It is embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. It is absolutely embarrassing. And the fact is that originally it's, oh yeah, we're looking towards everything. Then they had to double down. They actually redacted this statement. They redacted a statement. They redacted the statement saying we're looking at everything, saying, no, we're actually not looking at most of the stuff. We're looking at a lie spread on social media that went viral. We are looking into a literal lie spread on social media that got spoken into fact. We're looking at a lie.
So after all that digging, what did the WNBA find? Drumroll, nothing. No evidence of racist behavior from Fever fans. Investigators combed video, scoured audio, talked to eyewitnesses, and came up empty. But here's the twist. Sky coach Tyler Marsh revealed his team didn't even hear about the alleged incidents until they saw it blowing up on social media after the game. Let that sink in. The head coach had no clue until Twitter told him.
Yeah, I think we agree. I think we're in compliance with them, with the league, and obviously there's no room or space in our game for hate. So we're complying with everything that's going on.
Coach, when did you become aware that there was hate speech that happened?
I think when everyone else did. I think that it's something that we heard about, and so again, we're just forthcoming with anything that the league is able to do investigation-wise.
And get this, not a single player from either team heard a thing during the game. No coaches flagged it, and refs didn't report any crowd-related issues. The controversy? Sparked entirely by social media posts, with about as much evidence as a UFO sighting in a potato field. No video, no audio, just dramatic claims that it happened. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky looked blindsided. Their players showed no distress during the game, no meltdowns, no sideline complaints. Then, hours later, boom, Twitter and Instagram lit up with claims that somehow escaped everyone actually at the game.
I didn't think these things would be a topic this year. It's certainly not at this point, but here we go again.
Because now Indiana Fever players, all right, are getting called into question. Indiana Fever fans are getting called into question today. We got one post on here where somebody's literally calling, they're talking about there should be a boycott. That's what it really is, of the All-Star game over player safety.
Here's the play-by-play. Someone claimed on social media they heard racist comments at the game. A few clicks later, it spread like wildfire. No fact-checking, no receipts, just vibes. Suddenly, major sports outlets were breathlessly covering alleged incidents that, spoiler alert, apparently never happened. No one in the arena heard a thing, security footage showed nothing, and players and coaches were totally unaware until social media chimed in with, "Hey, be outraged now." The WNBA's official statement said the reports were not substantiated, which is polite speak for, yeah, this didn't happen. But what the league did find? That was just the opening act for the drama still to come.
The league is also taking a big L because there's no apologies to any fans whatsoever on this totally BS statement released by the WNBA. Yeah, you found nothing. That's great. That's accurate. Guess who told you you would find nothing? The entire Indiana Fever fan base said you weren't going to find anything. But this league that has never turned a profit decided to accuse their own fans.
During what seemed like a routine media appearance, Angel Reese casually tossed a grenade into the narrative we'd been hearing. She looked relaxed, maybe too relaxed, like she was chatting with friends, not facing a room full of reporters. But then, the vibe shifted. A question about the recent heat she's faced made her sit up. Her tone changed, the polish faded, and out came a raw, unfiltered response. One that didn't exactly line up with her earlier claims about being targeted by Fever fans.
Three-time BET Sports Woman of the Year, Angel Reese, says she doesn't pay attention to what folks say about her online because no one has ever said a negative word about her in person. Uh-oh. So what have you been talking about for the last 17 or 18 months? Uh-oh. I hope she realizes she just admitted this and did so on camera with audio. Yeah, nobody's ever going to let her let this down now.
What came out of her mouth next? A plot twist that torched weeks of narrative building like a rom-com blowing up in Act 3. Reese basically hinted the whole thing, yep, that thing, never actually happened. She even dropped a casual, "I've never had a bad interaction with a fan," like she was reading from the opposite day script. Then she pivoted to the dangers of internet drama, saying how things get twisted and people jump to conclusions without a parachute of facts. The way she said it, it sure sounded like a quiet admission that the controversy wasn't nearly as serious as everyone thought.
Yeah, obviously don't worry about what's going on online. I get so much love in person. I haven't ever had a negative encounter in person ever. And I've been going through this for 3 years. I've never had an encounter in person that was negative. So people online are behind a keyboard for a reason. And I don't worry about that stuff. I trust my work. My teammates trust me. And I was telling Milla today, like, she felt like she was having a rough day. And I was like, how many times have I had a rough day? And you picked me up. So don't get down on yourself. I know my teammates have my back, my coaches have my back, and that's all that really matters. I don't have to prove anything to anybody but myself and my teammates.
This confession drop-kicked everything we'd been spoon-fed for weeks. The saga had been that Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky were trapped in a thunderdome of racism, tormented by Indiana Fever fans like it was a twisted, sports-themed Game of Thrones episode. Headlines screamed, "Protect the players," as if the WNBA needed to call in the Avengers. Reese was cast as the damsel in distress, needing rescue by the league and a squad of ride-or-die teammates. But now, reporters glanced around like characters in a heist movie, realizing they were double-crossed. You could feel them thinking, wait, did we just witness history or the plot twist of the decade?
Lexi Hall being back in Indiana in the gym, working out. We saw Keith Porter in there. We saw Lexi shooting her shots. We saw Lexi with reverse layups.
Ever wonder why some players seem to keep improving while others hit a plateau? The Indiana Fever just dropped Lexi Hull's latest workout video, and it's shedding light on everything that's wrong with Angel Reese's current training method. This isn't just a slight difference. This is a stark contrast in what truly matters when it comes to player development.
I'm trying to figure out why she's putting so much time in developing an outside shot when she works under the basket, primarily.
While Hull is putting in the work with Caitlin Clark and Brianna Turner, focusing on game-specific scenarios, Reese is out filming herself, allegedly practicing, if you can even call it that. One player is building habits that lead to championships, while the other is creating an Instagram highlight reel that has no relevance to her actual role. Let's break down why this is so important for both their futures and how Reese's practice is falling short.
As Lexi Hull, she's back.
Have you seen what Lexi Hull's training looks like? The Indiana Fever just released a video that's getting attention for all the right reasons. Unlike the flashy, over-the-top workout videos flooding social media, Hull's footage is refreshingly real, showcasing genuine basketball development with a clear sense of purpose. What stands out right away is how intentional every drill is. Hull isn't training solo. She's working alongside Caitlin Clark and Brianna Turner, running through targeted sets to improve their on-court chemistry. This isn't just aimless shooting practice. It's a deliberate approach focusing on the exact areas where Hull faced challenges early last season. The Fever's motion offense, often called read and react, is at the heart of Hull's training routine. For those unfamiliar, this system relies on constant player movement and precise cutting to generate scoring chances. Hull's workouts are directly tailored to build the skills required to thrive in this style of play. You can watch her fine-tuning her catch-and-shoot technique, running through screenplays, and refining her movement patterns to create open looks for the upcoming season. Her training targets 3 key areas that align perfectly with her role: foundational shooting mechanics with a textbook high release, screen and cut actions, focusing on finishing at the rim, and the development of a consistent mid-range game, including floaters. The Fever coaching staff appears to have thoroughly analyzed Hull's performance data. If you followed last season, you likely noticed how Hull's shooting efficiency and overall impact saw a sharp increase after the Olympic break, when she started getting more consistent minutes. This training video proves they're building on what worked, sharpening the skills that transformed her from a bench player into a key contributor. What stands out in the footage is its authenticity. No gimmicks, no flashy music, no unnecessary props or distractions. It's just athletes putting in the work, repeating game-specific scenarios they'll encounter next season. This is basketball training at its core, aimed at translating directly to real game situations.
One of the reasons, other than the defense she plays and getting her hands on balls and all the other stuff Lexi does, that makes us absolutely cheer for her and appreciate her, it's that she does it with such joy. joy, the three-letter word that is so huge in sports, and we don't always see that in people, but there's that joy on her face.
Hull's joy during these workouts is impossible to miss. She's consistently smiling, fully engaged, and clearly enjoying the process of improvement. That positive mindset isn't just heartwarming, it's a key factor in player development. When athletes truly enjoy their training, they're more motivated to put in the extra work needed to make real progress. This focused, strategic approach to training helps explain why Hull's performance skyrocketed as last season went on. By honing skills that are directly relevant to her role in the Fever system, she's positioning herself to be more than just a supporting player. She's becoming an indispensable part of an offense that will be much more dangerous next season.
There's footage out there of Angel working on her game, in the lab, as they say, and mostly what we see is Angel shooting three-pointers.
As Lexi Hull evolves into the ideal system player through focused development across the league, we're seeing something akin to someone practicing their violin skills in preparation for a piano recital. Now, let's switch gears and take a look at Angel Reese's training videos, which have Chicago Sky fans scratching their heads. When a 6'3" post player, who shot just 18% from beyond the arc last season, spends her off-season trying to become the next Steph Curry, instead of focusing on improving her 44.5% finishing rate within 5 feet and 39% overall, it raises some serious questions about her priorities.
It's just a fact. She is, it's more than a fact. She is not good at layups. But I was looking at her stats. I jotted some down right here, and she shoots an abysmal 39% from the field. She shot below 50% on shots less than 5 feet away, which is bad. And even worse than that is that shots from 5 to 9 feet, 13%.
Basketball is all about roles, with each player having a specific job within their team's system. Lexi Hull has fully embraced her role as a movement shooter, creating spacing and opportunities within the Fever's offense. On the other hand, Angel Reese is meant to be an interior force and elite rebounder for the Sky. But after watching her training videos, you'd think she was preparing for a completely different position altogether.
Oh no! It's Angel Reese! Left alone! Bang! My money, and I want it now! Corner 3-ball! Butter pecan! Burn!
Y'all gonna disrespect me and not guard me? Well, hand down, man down.
Burn! McDonald's handing out brand deals for this kind of bag work. I'll take a lot less! Help a brother out! Bang!
Really only need 3,997 more threes to catch Steph.
Bang!
Chicago Sky fans aren't holding back either. Social media is flooded with comments like, "Why is she working on threes when she can't even make a layup?" This reflects the frustration of seeing a player focus on skills that aren't addressing her most pressing development needs. One fan even pointed out, is Reese trying to be Steph Curry or Caitlin Clark? The difference in approach couldn't be more obvious.
Tell me why I love her odds. Look at her defenders. They moonwalk backwards. She's always gonna be open. Bang! If only the IRS left me alone like Angel's defenders leave her alone. Tax evasion! Bang! Her new nickname is 7-Eleven because she's open 24/7, baby. Bang! Shout out to my Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham. This is for you!
The numbers reveal an even more eye-opening story. Did you know that nearly 40% of Reese's rebounds come from her own missed shots? That's not a mistake. Almost half of her rebounding stats are from cleaning up her own misses. Rather than focusing on becoming a more efficient finisher around the rim, which would instantly raise her value, she's taking three-pointers that have little to no chance of becoming a significant part of her actual game.
So refreshing to see some shots actually make it. Refreshing? Oh no, that's Angel Reese's music! Bang! You like Mustangs? Your favorite player is Lawal Dang? Oh, you said bang!
You're doing the Angel Reese in the NBA now. Watch again.
Took 2 slabs of butter, rubbed his hands together, and said, butter pecan. All right, back to business. Slime bag work, Brittany Griner, you said you rang?
This disconnect between training focus and on-court role reveals a deeper issue with basketball IQ. Players who truly understand the game don't just work hard, they work smart. they zero in on the skills that directly elevate their role within their team's system. When Reese spends time practicing three-pointers instead of refining her finishing around the rim, it raises some serious questions about how well she understands her own strengths and what she brings to the table as a player.